Yeah, we'll see what they want to combo it up. They've gone from Morphling 4 times in the second phase here in Army Geniuses. They've won every single time they've got their Morphling through. And that is a potential. Though it's not fantastic against the Brood Mother, but it does set in nicely with the Tiny and the Mars against, and especially against the Shadow Fiend. But SF is also a good answer to the Morph, so we'll see if they decide to take that route or go for something different here.
Ursa seems like a decent one here. They'll go for the Grimstroke. Yeah,
Okay.
Grimstroke hasn't been the most powerful of heroes. Plus, if it is a Tusk 4, laning against the Grim is very good for the Tusk. So not really sure about this one, but if the Tiny cannot burst people down on his own and you have a Grimstroke on your side, that is actually the amount of damage and the stun that takes them over the edge to kill them. So I'm never gonna be hating on a Grimstroke Tiny, especially in Southeast Asia. All of these players know exactly how to play this combo.
Grimstroke Tiny, getting some nice combos out of this. Also, Tiny in general, if you don't get your abilities off, Grimstroke's still going to be holding 2 targets close to each other with his ult, so easy to close in. You already know they won't be escaping, so allows the lockdown. And also kind of works as a nice secondary initiator. Great turnaround here. Always surprising when you fight in choke points. Say, for example, if you're fighting in the tree line, you get your ulti off, it latches onto somebody else, they're trying to juke around in trees, suddenly they can't do that anymore. Crystal Maiden, AoE abilities on 2, always fantastic. Kind of loves the situation Grimstroke creates. And then same as the Tiny, and so is the Mars. All of these just kind of work together. Some really good synergy and abilities for Army Geniuses.
True, true. But one thing that can be an issue is both Crystal Maiden and Grimstroke are very, very squishy. And you're up against better vision on Lilgun. Broodlings don't give as much vision as they did. Actually, they give quite a lot less. I think it was down from 700 to 300. But you still have a Clockwork and a Tusk. And these are two heroes that, even from the support role, can threaten the lives of the Crystal Maiden and the Grimstroke before they use a single spell. So that is one thing that Lilgun are going to be gunning for, is good vision in this game, because you need to
Lilgun
make
gunning
sure.
for.
Yeah, you need to make sure that the Tiny isn't catching you and that you're catching these squishy supports. And they actually have the lineup to make it happen.
Kind of looking at the averages as well. Both teams have somewhat similar median times in their games, so their drafts have also kind of sat in together during that late mid game area. We're looking at 35, 37 minutes. So that is basically gonna factor into their drafts. Lilgun just need to find more success. They haven't really been able to take down their opponents so far in this tournament. Haven't had a bit of difficulties, so maybe today is the day. Maybe today feeling either relaxed or fully focused, knowing it's the final series for them.
Yep, you have to. It's now or never that you give yourself at least a chance to stay in this tournament. That's then you wait tomorrow for Neon Atomic. I guess Unity Gaming, they're most likely gonna be winning at least 3 games out of the 6. That's fair to assume. So you're probably hoping that you win this one and that Neon Atomic drops the ball so that you can go further. And we're gonna go for the Lone Druid. So now this puts the
It's the first one.
SF. Puts the SF probably in the mid lane role. I haven't seen much mid lane Lone Druids recently.
Yeah, it's their first lone druid, and it is also their first SF game in this tournament. We're gonna see a Dawnbreaker coming out from Army Geniuses, which also looks to be played for the first time, and it's actually going to be in your dream, bringing up the carry Dawnbreaker. So let's crack the bottle, shall we? I mean, I really like this one.
Yeah, that's the Brood counter. Brood hates playing against the Dawn. Dawn is very good at just staying at a tower, constantly protecting it from the Brood. Even tier 1s sometimes don't fall so easily, and Dawnbreaker is this scary that actually might have enough damage to kill the Brood in the laning phase, especially when you have a Crystal Maiden. So it's gonna be very cool to see if in your dream can bully the Brood in the lane. That is something that we don't see too often. That the Brood gets low, that the Brood can't farm. But CM and the Dawnbreakers, this seems like a lane that could possibly make it happen.
well, you got to make it happen for sure. As what this Dawnbreaker basically gives as a carry, I feel like he's been one of the best lane farmers. Usually comes out with shining colors and still able to fight early on. Then you have this small kind of farming session where you just don't want to participate unless fully necessary because you want to get your Desolator timer. Which has usually been the option to go for. However, it's against Lone Druid and Shadow Fiend. You still want to go Deso and Dawn? These guys got a lot of armor.
Yes, I think you have to. I mean, considering that you are the carry, I think it's a necessity. I don't see another item that you can go for. I don't think Gecko Saber is a thing for the Dawnbreaker. So I think Deso is 99% gonna be what you want. So it's Deso, Ags, and BKB. Ags Shard. I mean, not the Scepter, but it doesn't have to be in that order. Most likely will be especially if you have a good laning stage.
Well, let's see what this game is going to lead into as our first game is about to kick off. We are going to have a tiny pause here to kick things off before we actually dive into the action. We'll give more time for Harry to talk about these two teams and their drafts in general.
I'm looking at this Lilgun draft, and it still looks, like something they would want to play. But when you said that their games lasted for longer, I kind of feel like that might be the reason that they're not doing so well with these kind of lineups. Even though you have an SF, the Lone Druid, these heroes can scale into the later portions of the game. The way that Lilgun approaches the game, the item choices and such, they always try to overtake the map at 20-25 minutes into the game, and then if everything goes well, up until 30 minutes, the opponents might already GG out. But never have I seen it happen in this tournament for them, that they're overtaking the game in that kind of a storm. Oh, see, Yoey is actually asking us how we are. We're great. Thank you for asking, Yoey.
Tempted to type. I guess we'll skip that for now, as we do have other broadcasters as well. I got myself some new broadcasting tools, so I'm gonna actually bring us on camera for the time being for the pause, because I need to actually change some settings. Currently, I'm experiencing a bit of lagginess here, so bear with us. We're still in pause. Don't worry, you're not missing out on anything.
I mean, if our beautiful faces are on the screen, there's no way that anyone is missing out on anything anyways. So,
yeah.
Currently, what the players are thinking about are some karaoke. But the problem is that the initial problem was with the microphone. So I don't know if that's really gonna work out here, Panda.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what comes out of this. Still sitting on a pause. Let's see if this works out better. And we're gonna take you back into our Dota screen. Ta-da! Nothing has happened. Nothing has changed.
Is that good?
Production-wise, I mean, yeah, I mean, everything looks good to people who are watching right now. But for me, it looks absolutely ass. Because so I got myself a 4K monitor, and now I had to revert everything back, and everything is very blurry. So please let me know so I can fix things on the fly if something happens. At least our FPS is looking a tad bit better, just a tiny bit.
That's okay. It's not like you need to look at the game properly for your job or something like that. So you'll be okay. But anyways, looking at the games here, Army Geniuses, man, I love their draft. I really think that it's looking pretty solid. The only, again, thing that you could say is not looking good for them, you don't have clear target for the Avatos combo, but that's where the Grimstroke comes in. And of course, okay, Grimstroke could also be a weakness because I haven't really seen this hero work out for quite some time. So I'm kind of looking forward to CML showing what he has with that hero. He is going to be playing a 4 Grimstroke though, in the In the current meta, it doesn't really matter if you're 4 on 5 or 5. We've seen it's just about laning. Later on down the line, it might actually be the CM who gets more the Grimstroke. Kind of comes down to who's gonna be surviving the fights more.
Yep. Well, looks like we have quite a long pause now. Varus is also disconnected from the game. Though, at least with that momentum that they came into the draft, you know, maybe these pauses with the players, they're still full on focused with what is to come. Though it is important to actually, I mean, I think it's best to actually have all these pauses at the start of the game, not like in the middle, because when you build up your focus, you go on a long pause, you come back, it's a completely different game. But here, nothing has actually still happened. There's no mistakes that are, how do you say, unreversible, you know.
Oh, okay. But I still hate the pauses at the start of the game. I was like the happiest guy when they implemented it for the first 3 minutes in pubs. You cannot pause. So no, that was a really cool change for me. Obviously, in competitive games, that's not gonna be something that you can implement because you want the players to make sure everything is working properly before before the game starts. And yep, they're gonna give a thumbs up here, Panda. So we are gonna be starting with our game 1.
Once again, digital sports.
Say that it was about time. Let's head over into our first game of the day. We, as already mentioned, we have 4 best of 2s today. It is currently 9 a.m. in the morning here for both me and Harry. So early morning dotes. Probably most of you watching right now are all over the globe. Whatever the time is where you're at, you're very much welcome here to the BTS broadcast. And enjoy some good old Dota. If you're sitting at work, listening to the commentary, watching the dotes, ain't nothing better than the second last day of BTS where everything is still up for grabs. Out of the 10 teams, only 1 has secured upper bracket and playoffs. So we have 9 teams still, and that could end up anywhere.
But I mean, you are welcome wherever you are in the world. But you know, if it's like,
But you're not.
no. But if it's like noon and you're just waking up, we're still gonna shame you. Like, haha, you didn't wake up early like we did. Like, we're so awesome.
Wow, Harry, that's not something a commentator should be saying. But okay. We don't want to take all the glory here. I mean, we're only just commentating the game. As long as the players are on the server, there's something to talk about.
Cool.
That is the biggest factor. Well, hey, let's see what happens here. Some early poke as Army Genius is Lilgun. Both going to be clashing in the river. Raze is coming out from Trill. Shard block as well, though it's not actually blocking the Crystal Maiden. And Clockwork does end up taking a hefty amount of damage. They do send the bear all the way back to the Lone Druid. So, Lone Druid versus Tiny. We have the Blightstone picked up on the Lone Druid. Bear basically only has the Quelling Blade. Lone Druid's right click only 42 damage, and the Bear click it 28. So yeah, that's not exactly a huge amount of damage against the Tiny. Tiny should be able to control this Lone Druid pretty early on.
Yeah, in terms of CS, he should. The thing is, though, the way that you deal with Tiny in the lane is that you fight him and that you're forcing him to use the tree grab hits on you. So, and that's how you prevent him from CSing or denying pretty much everything with the tree. And with the Lone Druid, it's actually a little bit easier to do because you can just run into him. You don't really care if your bear is taking damage at the start. It's not like the Tiny can kill him.
Well, at least you don't want that to happen. That would be surprising if the Tiny does actually take down the Lone Druid, because that also means your bear is going to be going on cooldown, so don't want that necessarily. Clockwork still holding on to a sentry in his backpack, not actually blocking, or I guess he's still got it, like in case something happens. They decided to block. Oh, sorry, they actually got the sentry ward to D-ward, which he did find. So he's got another one just in case. The CML is holding on to another.
11
Didn't
is in
actually see
trouble.
that sentry there. Yeah, 11 down in the bottom lane. First blood for In Your Dream on the Dawnbreaker carry.
This is This is the strength of the CM and the Dawnbreaker, and you know, they just hit level 2. We all know the power of the CM level 2, and the Dawnbreaker is nothing to laugh at either. You do massive amounts of damage with these 2 heroes, plus you have a lot of slows, stuns. And the Broodmother cannot survive. You know, despite having the Wraith Band and very high armor, and was even under the tower, these 2 are just insane. And look at the CM and the amount of mangoes that Flourish has.
Yep, 5 mangoes. And here we go again. Dawnbreaker gets the burnout onto the Broodmother. Getting a couple hits there with Ace. Trying to establish some dominance here. Broodmother kind of running out of regen too. Just has another set of tangos. Tusk is sending a stick into the lane. Grimstroke.
It's different now though, because when the Tusk gets his snowball, he can always cancel out the Starbreaker, and that's probably the main way to keep your Broodmother alive. So 11 is probably gonna be a bit safer now.
Yep. Probably. Is the magic word whenever the Tusk happens to be missing. Crystal Maiden does get the chance to finally get rid of the sentry ward. And is he gonna find another one? No, he's actually gonna lose the hard camp blocker.
He actually went there to block the camp himself, so he doesn't want the pulls to be happening. He knows that the ideal lane for Lilgun would be if they're constantly pushing in. So, and getting the pulls off. Because you need more levels and you need to stay together. So pulls are of the utmost importance.
Yeah. Recognizing they need to keep that lane tranquility optimal for themselves. And both of these cores are ending up with a decent amount of farm. And in your dream, just get some poke onto the Tusk again with the Celestial Hammer flying in. Dawn also with 2 extra mangoes, so they can keep on doing this.
Say is gonna be in some trouble as well. They are gonna be chasing him down here on the top lane. It's not looking like he can get... Oh, beautiful.
The Broodmother might be the one actually dying too. Actually takes down the Crystal Maiden. And that is going to be 11 going down. DB finds the kill on Say. And in your dream, looking for a double here. If you can take down Ace. Ace still has shards and has snowballs. So in your dream, he's going to cut with the chase. But he's already up to 2 kills. So he's solid with that. Yeah, he burnt both mangoes there in that fight. But it was worth it to take down the Broodmother.
Yeah, most definitely. Brood, though, still okay in terms of CS, especially with the with these 7 creeps coming your way. So 11 is gonna be relatively fine there. The CM does get a pull, and this is really good for Army Geniuses. It looked like he's not gonna be able to make it because of the TP, but just barely got the pull off, and nothing Ace could do about it. It's not like he even knew that that it was gonna happen.
Yeah, CM hits level 3, so now we've got our mana aura in the team. 1.2 for everybody else here, which is a nice amount. That is the close mana region. Otherwise, it's going to be like 0.4, 0.6. It's only going to be up to like 1 mana for the team. But in the lane, very useful, especially with this Dawnbreaker. We've already seen the heavy mana costs on these abilities. You want to have some extra and save up on the mango costs. Don't bring a CM. I haven't really looked much at this mid matchup, but it's super even.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I think 43 is going to be happy with it.
Oh, he's very happy.
And it's going to go a little bit more into his favor now, at least until Yowie hits level 6, because you have the Orb of Corrosion, and the Tiny is going to be taking a ton of damage if you start just bashing into him. And you can see how scared Yowie is playing right now. He doesn't want to take that unnecessary damage until he gets level 6.
Only 4 kills on the board so far. Say can't quite get to the Mars even so not able to get the cock blocks into some race spamming. Now how Rune is spawning. Yowie doesn't get lucky on the top half, but Ace, he's going to be taking that invis for himself. Crystal Maiden pops down the sentry ward. He sees that the Tusk is back paddling here in the mid area. Dawnbreaker happy to be alone. Varish. Are they going to go on the Tusk? He's so close. Yowie wants to go, but he wants the Lone Druid. He pops the True Form. Forces his ulti out. Snowball used by Ace as well. Shards going in. Yowie does drop low on this Tiny. Down to 300, but not enough for a kill. So it does seem like it's a bit of a skirmish ability trade here on both sides.
That was a solid move from Army Geniuses, but he just hit level 6 on the Lone Druid, and it makes it very, very tough to kill him, almost impossible. So, also, I think the Lone Druid is gonna be really mad about the Entangle not coming out even a single time on the Tiny. If in the river it came out, or here now, there is a chance you get a kill, especially because he was attacking him with the hero as well. Once you turn into the true form, both of you and the bear can get it out. So, a little bit unfortunate.
And here goes DB. This should be Trill with a kill. CML does come for the rescue, but it's not going to help out. Mars walks in too close to the lane. Grimstroke been missing for a while. He did just show up in the nick of time, but only to see his buddy die. Why did you leave me?
So far, so good for Lilgun. The lanes are going well for them. We talked about the tempo that this team, not necessarily with this lineup, but with any lineup that they play, like to set, and this is a good start for it. Broodmother, despite a not-so-great start, is still having a good time.
No, he waited for the Starbreaker to pop out, but he never went for it. Instead, he's going to get the stun on Tusk. And now the Starbreaker. Oh, Broodmother down. Tusk is going to go down too. Oh, that was so suspected that the Tusk is actually going to break the Starbreaker with the Snowball like we talked about early on in the laning phase, but he never went for it. He forced out the Snowball, pops his ulti, secures the stun, and after that, just some free hits, keeps up that sustain, and just beautiful footwork from the Dawnbreaker.
Yep, he baited Lilgun into a mistake. That's it, and he himself didn't make any, even though it looked like In Your Dream was gonna die.
Oh
he
no.
might still die.
Oh, he was so close to getting there, but not going to be able to. And the scan, he's out of there too. So this Lone Druid wasted rotation with the haste rune. Good read.
It still opens up the tower, so that is no more Solar Guardian. You're not going to be able to get to the bottom in time, and the Lone Druid and the Broodmother should be able to take it down. Plus, I mean, when it comes to Army Geniuses, they cannot punish the bottom lane. At least they're going to rotate to the top, so it's going to be a trade in the end.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be a trade-off. So as soon as they understand the situation in bottom, CML, very risky teleport. He's got 3 heroes around him. He tries to catch the Broodmother, but now the Tusk is just going to find him. I don't know why CML's going here alone, but I guess he's trying to buy some time. Fortunately, it's just him going to lose his life. Meanwhile, Yahweh actually finds himself a double bounty rune to get some extra money in, and now with the dead Grimstroke, they can defend this top lane. Rena comes out. Say's got to be caught inside it with the spear pinning him to the wall.
Not enough.
Yahweh is gonna get caught in the roots and already loses a couple hundred HP here, and he gets rooted again by the bear. So he just barely gets close enough, and they can't get to the clockwork. Maybe a third root. Tosses the bear. Bear flying, running behind him. Needs another root. Not gonna get it. Maybe on DB. No, that's 4 consecutive hits and no roots. But it is a 20% chance, so the 5th one probably would have done it. Meanwhile, Ace dies under the mid-tier 1 tower.
So now with the bottom lane open, the Dawnbreaker is still gonna be okay at defending the tower, but it is not ideal because the Brood is gonna be getting more farm than you are if you're this Dawnbreaker and you're at a part of the map where it's not that safe. I think Army Geniuses not fully on committing for the top lane was a big mistake, because now you have to bring so many heroes for that tower to fall, and Say is just staying there, and he doesn't even care if he dies.
Does not know about this stalking. Oh no, he never got the toss off. And a beautiful play there with the Spirit Prayer being respawned. No kill for him. No bear kill gonna take place. Bonked away by DB. Say he does not have his hook shot. He would have needed that one camp cleared out to get it, and he actually ends up his bear getting blocked by Ace with the shards. Tiny with a bit of a mistake there, missing on a very high target kill.
Level 1 toss. He didn't have the range for it. You're clicking it, and the hero is constantly turning back. So you could even say that his teammates weren't close enough. DB though in a lot of trouble.
He still could have tossed them on the spot. Yeah, DB down. Lilgun happy with this turn of events. Sticking around in this top lane for long enough to find a kill for themselves, and no CML. Stroke of Fate, 3 points because of the Spiderlings. Gets quite a bit amount of money for himself. He's got 46 last hits on a Grimstroke now.
Yeah, Stroke of Fate is like the spell against the Brood. I'm actually surprised 11 isn't going for a hood into a pipe. He's playing against so much magic damage, it would pretty much make him impossible to kill. Plus, saving the broodlings from the Stroke of Fate is something that you should be gunning for. But he is going for an Orchid. That's gonna make CM's life, Grimstroke's life, very hard, and even the Dawnbreaker won't be able to stay on the bottom lane the way he wants.
Oh, DD Rune. Trying to bait Tusk in as well. Tiny's going to be able to secure it in his bottle. Let's see what they can do with this. They have 1.5 minutes time to use that. Mask of Madness Bear chasing DD away. 4-2-3 with the Gauntlet challenge. Accepted. Let's go. Tiny going into the bottom lane. Almost catching the Brood Mother off guard. Insatiable Hunger actually wants to poke this Tiny. Say's coming in with the hook shot. And there's a Dawnbreaker to turn it around. DD Rune popped by Owe. And here we go with the Clockwork. He's gonna go down super fast. It's almost as if they forgot about it.
I think they knew. I think this is what they were gunning for. If you're forcing out the Solar Guardian towards the bottom lane, you know that the top tower is still gonna be standing, and this is amazing for Lilgun. I think they would 10 out of 10 go for this play and just leave the Clockwork to die there to force so many rotations of Army Geniuses towards the bottom.
Yeah, potentially I think that's what they might have been looking for. At least that's a power rune lost for a support. It could have gone much worse, losing the Brood Mother, opening up the bottom lane completely, and meaning Army Geniuses could pressure around the map. So might have been just a play. 3k lead for Lilgun, nevertheless. Looking at the graphs here, pretty even game. Nothing too special happening until now. We're still waiting for like the next 8 minutes. Basically gonna tell us more about which direction are we going.
It's now or never for Army Geniuses. The Mars has a blink. Tiny's blink is coming close. Crystal Maiden and the Grimstroke, these heroes have to fight to make it worth picking them. So with the constant pressure for Lilgun, they haven't been able to do it. With the blink daggers now, that changes. But that means that in the next couple of minutes, it's going to be crucial. If you're not getting multiple kills, you're most likely not coming back into the game.
CML smoke pops. Understand somebody's here in the trees. Who's it gonna be? Oh, it's a lone druid. Might as well take that. Thank you. Hookshot comes out from Say. Tower's already down. Does get the cogs to push away DB, and in your dream, they're gonna take the long wrap around here. This Clockwork doesn't seem to have much business here anymore. Stroke of Fate. The silence comes out from the bug. Clockwork is able to kill the bug, but he's not going to keep his life. So that's 2 kills and a tower for Army Geniuses. Good read. So with all the stuff that they made happen in the bottom lane, they still end up giving kills for Army Geniuses.
Staying on top for too long is always something that, I mean, it's not the easiest to read, especially when everything is going well. And now it's gonna be about speed for Army Geniuses. They're gonna be flying from one part of the map to another. It's very good that they have a Dawnbreaker. It's gonna allow him to do it. But In Your Dream needs to have resources. He needs to have mana, because now is the time for Army Geniuses. We're gonna be seeing moves towards the bottom lane, immediately towards the mid, towards the top, then towards the mid. That is how they're gonna be moving right now, and the chaos needs to ensue for their Tiny and the Mars to get multiple kills.
15 minutes now played out. What's the timing we're looking for here on the Lilgun side of things?
Well, they are a bit greedy, so they're most likely gonna be attempting to farm as much as possible. Every single item that you get out is big. The biggest timing you could look at their lineup is possibly the SF BKB, but even without it or with it, Lilgun can still fight. It's not like it's okay, this is the item they were waiting for, and then they can go for plays.
Orchid only takes Tiny down to half HP. Say gonna fight against CML, but there's a lot of traffic here. In Your Dream's gonna be coming in as well with the Dawnbreaker. He wants that kill. He really wants that kill. Throws in the hammer to secure it. Trell, he's not going to be able to get much out of that Requiem, even if he went for it. But now the Tusk is going to be in trouble. He's going to try to save his life, and he's going to be able to. 4-man Fear. Snowball in. He just saved Tusk's life, but now Justice going to go down. And Trill maybe as well. In Your Dream and DV right on top of him. This Shadow Fiend does right-click very hard, and as 4-2-3 arrives, Army Geniuses, they're out of there. Man, it hurts. He saved Tusk's life with the Requiem. and then Tusk decides to snowball in. It's like he was stuck in 6th gear, and now they're gonna lose their Broodmother in the bot lane too. Just caught.
Yeah, has been the problem with Lilgun throughout this tournament. When it comes to the early mid game and the mid game, they are not sure how to play the game. They're like, okay, we need to be greedy. Yeah, that's true, but they can be greedy after they force a rotation from the enemies. Let's say like the one on bot that force out the Dawnbreaker ulti, and after that you're greedy. You cannot try to force the Dawnbreaker ulti in a lane where army geniuses want to fight, being the mid lane, when your mid lane tower is low. Now with the map being open, it makes it even easier for army geniuses to move around. With 2 blink daggers and a CM Grimstroke, plus you have a Dawnbreaker to join the fight anytime. It now becomes very dangerous for Lilgun to be anywhere. You're never gonna know from which side army geniuses are gonna hit.
CML. He's got SE nearby. Clockwork gets stunned up, and here comes In Your Dream to secure the kill. That Desolator building up on those +2 stacks. Gonna be 14 damage short from being maxed out, so having that +6 already. 3-man rotation here onto the Tusk, getting silenced up, but they can't quite get near because the Broodmother is also around the area.
He got the shards off and it stopped the Tiny's blink, so Tiny couldn't go in. I think Tiny necessarily doesn't care too much about the Brood. He has enough armor now. Once he gets to level 12, it's gonna be even more, so we won't really be afraid of that one. They're looking for Trill.
Trill is actually very close here, and Yoe is gonna get him. In Your Dream coming in with the Solar Guardian. And a Guardian for sure he is. Hookshot fails from Say. Can't even get a response. Ace is actually going to be going in with the Blink Dagger, trying to get some damage out. This is still good for Lilgun, but this CM gets his ulti off. 4-2-3, gets the root on CM. DB going to be catching 11. 11 is going to be the target now as Army Geniuses get close. 8 down 2. Double kill for the Dawn. That's going to be a 3rd as Ace is going to get slapped down. The Bear trying to get some damage out onto the Dawnbreaker, but as long as they're standing right next to each other, this Bear shouldn't be able to do too much. And they're being very aggressive. That's one. Oh, that might be a second one. Slowed by the Celestial Hammer and the Stroke of Fate. And now onto the Clockwork. Army Genius is just toying with them. They just have so much better vision on what they want to do. Lilgun kind of feeling confused. I feel like everything is just falling apart. What do they want to try?
I'd say Army Genius's communication is very good, right?
Yeah.
They, I think their comms are probably looking very clean, and they speak in words like, I see Clockwork, and then people jump, or jumping Clockwork and stuff like that, and everyone just kind of reacts to those little plays. Oh, I'm tossing the Bear back, and then someone says, no, don't kill him, it's gonna take too long, and they just back immediately, so it's looking very nice. And Ace? Okay,
Ace just tried to kill CM there.
Close.
In for an attempt, but it's not going to do much here. Save with a hook shot. 11 coming in from the side. They're trying to save their CM. They want to keep Varus' life intact before 2-3 with the Bear. Gonna locate the CM, but the micro is getting difficult. He's juking around. The Spiderlings. Oh, it's stuck on the cliff. Easy kill for Ace. He's gonna find it. Grimstroke. Gonna be surrounded here with enemies. Ace actually gets the Walrus Punch to break the Starbreaker. Doesn't matter. He's still dead. And that is In Your Dream, already in a beyond godlike spree. Holy damn. Can we just address this Dawnbreaker? 1107, that's 18 KDA out of the 19 kills. That's like 95% kill participation at this moment.
We can, Panda, but you know who can't? It's Lilgun. They're the ones that cannot address it. There's nothing you do to this hero right now when it's so strong. You even have the shard, so SF ulti not an issue for you any longer. You just get on top of Trill and you smack him down.
Yep. And I'd love to play this Dawnbreaker right now.
Like, can I take over, Mr. In Your Dream?
I mean, watching a Dawnbreaker carry game for what feels like an eternity, and actually seeing it do this well, it really makes you want to just play the hero as yourself. Like these are the type of games which influence pubs.
Oh yeah, I can see it now. I always thought that was not the case, and it was like, okay, now everyone is gonna play PUBG in pubs. My pubs are ruined and stuff like that. But yeah, now actually, Panda, you gave us a live showing that that's how it works.
I mean, usually when you see like, oh, a famous player is playing Hero X, so he's obviously gonna influence the pubs on purpose. But this is really the reason. What's really like, oh, this hero's super strong in a game like this. Gonna go for the Solar Guardian, but the fear comes out. Trill unable. Oh, they're actually getting a good turnaround. They're gonna isolate the Dawnbreaker. That's huge! And for Trill, double kill as he takes down Yoe. It's gonna be the Tiny falling. 3 heroes gone. CML. Where's the Root? Root Bear. There we go. That's a good bear. That's a good boy. And he takes down the 4th member from Army Geniuses. And this was the first good fight for Lilgun.
Roche time. They also get a DD, and they're gonna go for it. Yeah, that's how. I guess that's how you win the fights. You cannot be the first one to initiate because the Dawnbreaker ulti is always gonna turn it around. But if your Lone Druid is the one that gets jumped and he gets the true form off, it all looks differently. I think Army Geniuses now, as soon as they see the true form coming out, they're just gonna bail on fights, especially if they're super deep. There's no way you get that kill, and I think now they're actually aware of it.
There was 3 good things that I spied in that fight. Firstly, the Requiem save. As the Dawnbreaker was about to charge in, they got the Requiem, and they were slowed at the same time. Secondly, as you said, they tried to focus down the Lone Druid, but the true form took a bit too long to try to focus down. Thirdly, Sei, who has been desperate for these clockwork plays this game. He's gone in so many times and he's almost never came back alive. This time actually got the cogs push and a nice choke point fight too. They had shards on the other side of the fight and cogs in the middle of the lane, and Dawnbreaker closer to Lilgun while the rest of the AG team was on the left side. So isolating their carry, losing the Tiny in the process. That was just some really good positioning. And also you could say getting a bit lucky too, because it's like these heat of the moment situations.
True. But you know, I'd still put it on 4-2-3. If he hadn't reacted, none of it is possible. So Lilgun, they did set it up 4-2-3. He probably knew that they were gunning for his life. He stayed in a good position, and this is something that Lilgun were prepared for. They said, yo, we're gonna have TPs for top, or 4-2-3 said, look at top, they're going for me. If they jump, just make sure you TP. I'm gonna react with the true form, and then it all works out. They couldn't make any plays on the aggressive, but they knew how they needed to bait their opponents in.
Makes himself known here. God's Tribute takes down half of them. Crystal Nova weakens them up, and the spear finishes them off, but his BKB'd up. Here's the Solar Guardian Trail with his own BKB, and that's not going to be a very good Requiem in the end, but they have the damage. They need to sustain. The arena is blocking the projectiles. SF walking in. He's going to be losing the Aegis here in this fight. 4-3-3, still feeling healthy, but bear number 1, that's down. He's going to get silenced. He won't be able to get the second one, but he does get some backup here. How does he actually get the Purge off? He got silenced by an Orchid, but it just disappeared. I don't know what dispelled it, but still, the Lone Druid down. Wasn't able to get the bear off instantly. However, Trill teleporting away 11 should be able to get out too. They do get the tower, but it's a costly tower. That's your Aegis gone and several members of your team.
That was the Grimstroke shard, I think. He does have it, and if I'm not mistaken, there was a ink swell on him when he got silenced, so it got purged off after.
No, I mean the Lone Druid was silenced, so he wasn't able to get the bear off, and then it just disappeared. I heard the Orchid sound. I saw a Lone Druid silenced, and I was like, "What dispelled him? They don't have a dispel in the team."
No. The Lone Druid got silenced from the Phantom's Embrace. It's just that
so it was just
the Orchid
bug.
came out
Okay.
at the same time.
So
Yeah.
somebody
Orchid
else
came
got
out at the same
Orchided. Then that makes sense.
That was the case. No Orchids on Army Geniuses currently, and I think that's most likely not gonna change. But this is the fight, the way it's gonna go. If it is Lilgun that they're gonna be going in first, though at some point that changes, because we talked about the greediness of Lilgun's lineup, and you know, in the later portions of the game, these 3 heroes are gonna be very powerful.
I think Ace just misclicked tag team there a bit too early. Oh, they see the hookshot comes out, and the Solar Guardian, and they miss the hookshot, and they find a kill. So failed gank, and one of your members dead. Just seems like the story of Lilgun.
They wanted to get the BKB out of the Dawnbreaker there, at least. Though maybe even get a kill, considering that you have 2 ways to cancel the BKB TP.
Good reaction there from the Dawnbreaker, because there was a rocket flare flying about, and made sure he's not going to blink at the direction of vision. Otherwise, he's definitely going to get caught. They're targeting the Lone Druid now. He's defending a bottom tower. They know he's somewhere about. Trying to teleport away. He's going to get out. There in the tree line. Also going to be sent back home to safety. They see all this traffic most likely on their side of the map. That's where Army Geniuses want to play. I see a stroke. Stun coming out from the Inkswell. Only minimal. Mars is going to get feared. Oh, he's going left instead of into the high ground. Oh, what a direction to fear in by the bear. Frostbite onto the Brute Mother, holding him in place. They duke up the Rocket Flare for vision. And now Say he is looking for an angle for the hook shot. But he feels like he's getting blocked by his teammates again. Ace wants to go for the blink in. He just wants to charge in the fastest route. Looking for the Dawnbreaker. And they're all just spreading away from them. Varus is going to give his life away so the rest of them can escape.
You could see Army Geniuses had a better idea what happens when the Lone Druid gets his form off. As soon as the Lone Druid gets the form off, they start running away. Unfortunately for the Mars, that he starts running the opposite direction from what would have been an optimal escape. If the Mars gets out there, the CM probably lives as well.
What is happening here? But the Lone Druid is getting targeted here by both Yowie and the Dawnbreaker from In Your Dream, and that's your Lone Druid dead. And now they're coming back to the bottom lane. Is it too late? There's no BKB on the Dawn, though. Somewhat low in mana. And getting the turnaround. They got the silence. Orchid is onto the Dawnbreaker. Where's the damage? Here comes Trill. The silence is there as well. Won't be able to get the Requiem off in time. Finally does. It's going to fear them for a bit, but you need to get the damage. You need to get it in. DB is in front. The Mars tanking all the projectiles from the Shadow Fiend. And now this Tiny just waiting for his time to arise. In Your Dream, living with 200 HP. Tiny dodging the hook shot here. Inkswell to turn it around maybe. Trill still gets a few punches in and able to finally clean him out. Mars still tanking. In Your Dream would like the help, but Kenny goes in aggressive and finds the double. Big play from In Your Dream, finding the courage to get that Starbreaker blink combo out. Shadow Fiend gonna get caught in the Frostbite. He barely has any mana on the Dawnbreaker. Look at the item management. Clarity broken. Oh boy. It could have actually given him just enough to go for a kill onto Trill with the help of his supports, but not now. Man, what a turnaround.
Both teams playing that fight really well, though. Tiny coming into the fight there to finish off the SF, and then he gets silenced just before he uses his combos. SF survives. Then the Inkswell is used onto the Tiny, and just before it pops, the SF pushes the Tiny away. If it pops, the Tiny gets a lot of HP back and possibly survives. The fight is a disaster. Then, you know, it looks like it's very good for Lilgun. We did everything right, let's go. And suddenly the Dawnbreaker with just a fraction of the HP comes back into the fight. With 2 heroes being into the cogs, the Luminosity just heals him so much, enough to survive a couple of hits from the SF, which would have been impossible without the lifesteal. So just beautiful back and forth here between the two teams. In the end, it is Army Geniuses that come out on top.
27-15. Net worth is pretty much tied. We see a big Ice Spire in the middle, which was Army Geniuses with a strong moment. Then we saw the Roshan happen right after for Lilgun, which was one of their first good fights. And now it just feels like it's bouncing back and forth a little bit. It's still anybody's game to grab.
Most definitely, most definitely. I think that greedy period for Lilgun, it has passed. But and they have vision. They have the vision advantage with the Brood, with the Tusk and the Clockwork. They really need to use it. If Army Geniuses cannot get proper jumps, it's gonna be pretty good for Lilgun in this game. And they're going for a smoke. They want to be the first one.
Shot nicely catching both of them. DB and the CML support both gonna be caught, and they will lose their lives. And that comes from the Clockwork finding the courage for a good hook shot. Gets 2.
Unfortunately for them, the Roche isn't up. It is gonna be a little bit of an earlier Roche, about a minute from the lowest respawn time, but the side of Army Geniuses are still gonna have their heroes. I think though, if Lilgun are ready for that one, they kill it fast enough. They just have the damage. Look at that tower drop.
They're just gonna keep on hammering here, forcing out the glyph. Oh wait. He's close by. Got his blink available. Avalanche in 10. Probably what they have to wait for to get the full combo off the bear. Finishing off the melee racks. And if they don't get Roshan, they will find a mid lane opened up for them. Look at actually Bloodthorn now upgraded for In Your Dream to clear that bear.
No bear. It means that you have a clear path to win a fight. You see the bear in the fight, you kill it. You kill it immediately, and that's how you're gonna do well. You don't even need to focus on 4-2-3 because that can be dangerous. You can get too deep. But the spirit bear is actually a pretty solid target. Yes, it does have 4k HP, but in the armor department, okay, now it's good in the armor department as well. They have the AC. So
Army department.
Armor department.
It's like the Army Geniuses department, some kind of special units, some kind of special force. Lilgun smoking up. It was just outside of vision too. There was a ward on the high ground, but it doesn't show them. However, Army Geniuses, they know something's up. Say, he's got the jetpack. Vision placed out. They see all of them. Now it's just down to him. He's gonna find the hook shot into a what? Okay. Might have been the Crystal Maiden, but something was bugging for me. I saw he hookshot at either a Wild Wing Ripper, or then it was the Crystal Maiden, but he will buy back. Instant smoke coming out.
I think it was the CM. Army Geniuses, this is a good move. They need to fight. They need to get in right now. Someone needs to die at the start of the fight for it to be successful.
Oh, nice two-man avalanche coming out. We've got Mars walking in right as well, but the fear still there. Not going to drop the arena until now. That has them trapped inside. 4-2-3 will take one. They've got the Tiny very low on HP. They will finally take down the Lone Druid. Here comes the Requiem from Trill. But In Your Dream, he's going to be relentlessly chasing the Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend already in huge trouble. But the roots, the spinner, the web spinner on the ground, finding the kill, but he will trade his life for it. And it's going to be a 3 versus 2. 11 still battling it out versus DB with Zay, with Ace. And Lilgun, they will finish off the team wipe. They've got all of them.
If the lineup of Army Geniuses doesn't get the kill at the start of the fight, they are most likely gonna lose. Even though in the end they do finish off the Lone Druid, they're taking way too much damage, the resources are getting low, you're losing the BKBs, and then the turnaround is gonna be fast and strong from the side of Lilgun. I think though at that point you really have to commit. That's just how Dota goes. If you start running away, you're not even gonna get the kills that you did. But boy, those lifesteals on the Lone Druid, they're just insane. He is losing like third of his HP per second, and it's coming back. That's just how much he's getting. He just needs to find a target with low armor with the bear, and it's gonna be completely fine. And there were even creeps around, so it was quite easy for him to live and to create space for his team. They can't get the Roche without their cores, so that's good for Army Geniuses. But now you're seeing the problems that their lineup doesn't give any vision, and they can't find the right jump.
So what I was kind of worried about during that fight was how is the Shadow Fiend Dawnbreaker matchup gonna go, but they ended up taking each other's lives simultaneously. Tiny was down to 500 HP very early on into the fight. By the time they finally got the arena down, Tiny just had to walk away. He was getting pummeled like mad. Shadow Fiend gets the shard.
You can see that the Tiny wants to go for an axe. At this point, Army Geniuses, the way that you want to fight is keep your distance. Your heroes aren't good at it until the Tiny gets an Aghanim Scepter. Once he does, Army Geniuses, that's going to be the timing that they're gunning for. If they get to it, and if they don't win a fight with an axe on the Tiny, they probably GG out. The thing is that I don't think Lilgun, they care too much about letting them farm it. So they're just gonna start pressuring immediately. And we already saw what kind of damage they can do to the towers. They just fall in a couple of seconds.
Well, there goes A. He's playing aggressive here, but he's got the Force Staff to get out. That would have been a bit risky for him if he actually got stuck. You can see that the cogs placement, he was trying to catch somebody here. Not quite. The Broodmother Ags, which was finished some time ago, we saw the spinner. Spinner stare inside that team fight. Was actually holding the Dawnbreaker on the spot for quite some time.
Yeah, but the biggest thing about this axe, the army geniuses, even if they smoke out, it's gonna be very hard to find an angle to fight and that your opponents aren't gonna know about. And
Yep.
yeah, you're going for a smoke, and there are no spinner snare webs there, so this is a good angle, the one that they were looking for.
Yeah, the exit route is straight into base with no stair behind him. He could just pop one right behind the lines. Clockwork is not here. No teleport. Lilgun don't want to fight this.
They didn't want to go for the lone druid. He has an Aegis. Even if you kill him, it's not gonna change anything. You still lose the fight. You needed another target. The 2 supports would be the best. Broodmother plus 1 support would also be a good initiation for the Tiny in particular, and that's what Army Geniuses are looking for. They need to not go onto the high ground and still get that kind of a jump. So it also has to be a bit of luck on their side, but I think if Lilgun maintain a solid positioning, that Army Geniuses good jump for them is just impossible, and you have to hope that you get to the axe on the Tiny.
It's gonna get difficult as well for Army Geniuses in terms of where they want to take the fight and when do they want to take the fight, because they need lanes pushed out. If any of these lanes are nearby and they lose a fight, which leads into Lilgun pushing in, we've got SF, we've got Brood, we have a Deso Bear. How fast do these buildings fall? You don't even get to say the word cat. Say, with the hook shot. Doesn't quite catch DB, but they do have Ace sitting at the tree line. BKB's up. Teleports away. Right clicks from Trill. A bit late. He will get out. They did force out the BKB at least, but can they punish him for it?
I think they can. I think they can. Though that was a slight mistakes from the supports there. You have 2 ways to cancel the TP, and you use both of them immediately pre-BKB. So slight mistake from Say, and Ace cost them the Mars kill. He did have a buyback, but obviously you don't want to use it if you're the Mars.
Yeah. So hungry for kills. Brain not always function. Here, tries to go into the high ground, gets tossed away. Bloodthorned up in your dream, trying to finish it off. Gets the Starbreaker. Celestial Hammer in, gets it. Bear number 1 down. Bear number 2 has been spawned. Hookshot comes in. DB, nice Requiem from Trill. They're going to take down In Your Dream. He's going to be down and also losing the Mars. And that's going to be the racks falling. Lilgun. They can smell victory here. They are still going in. Nice jump in from In Your Dream. The turnaround potential here. 4-2-3. Very low on HP. Finally goes down. Aegis pops. 11's going to go down in the backline. They lose the Tusk. And 4-2-3 all by himself. He's got the racks though. He finished up the melee. And forced out the buyback from the Dawnbreaker and from DB. And they're pinging their enemy base. Go, go, go. Push, push, push.
I'm not sure if you want to be just pushing straight up down the mid lane. Preparing the lanes for a potential next fight would be much more beneficial for Army Geniuses. Even if you take down the mid lane, it's not going to change much in your positioning. The way that you win this game is that you have to get kills on the opponent's side of the map. And it's good in a sense that the SF and the Bear don't have buybacks, but other than 1 lane, that's the only thing that you can get this one, and you're not preparing for the next part of the game. So I'm kind of guessing, second guessing this Army Geniuses decision to just go straight up for their axes.
Guess this is them trying to equalize the situation. They've already lost 1.5 lanes of racks and they can't get much done, so I guess they're just trying to force out as much as they can, but they have to fight 3 glyphs. They used one of the tier 2. They're going to use one of the tier 3. They've got another available for the melee racks. And backdoor protection as well. Creeps ain't even nearby yet. Finally gets taken off, and there's the 3rd glyph. That is so much time bought with just protection. Remember, kids, sometimes it's useful. Say, jumping in. He's going to find the hook shot onto 1, but they blinked out 2 heroes just in the nick of time. Oh, Crystal Maiden will be killed here. Trying to teleport away CML. All right, the snowball is a bit too far away.
Your lanes are now not in a good position. You are a 4 versus 5. Okay, the CM will have a buyback, so at least something. But I'm still not a huge fan of that decision. You're seeing how Lilgun now are focusing on getting the lanes out first. I like this much better. Plus farming the tier 4s. Also, one thing we didn't touch upon was the Arcane Blink on the SF. The reason why that initiation on the top lane at the start of the fight was so good is because of the Arcane Blink. Hookshot, Arcane Blink, and no one gets the BKB off. It's just way too hard to react, and that sets up a very good fight for Lilgun. Obviously, with some buybacks, Army Geniuses take it back, but next time you're not gonna have as many.
They also just got a Spell Prism in the team. It kind of sucks. Nobody's not picking it up, but there's not really a hero who gets huge benefit out of this. Maybe the Lone Druid, but he also holds on to a Paladin sword, and he's got the Penta-Edge sword on the Spirit Bear. He's just got crazy amounts of regeneration with that Paladin sword.
Yeah, the heals are just way too big. That's not something that you want to give away. You probably think about it, because Army Geniuses are doing a good job. They're killing the bear, but if they're smoking out, they can't do it. That's only a play if the enemies are coming to you. You kill the bear once, and then you're setting up the fight for yourself.
We're thinking about 11 here in this lane. Maybe he shows up again. He's farming the camps. There is a lot of heroes nearby for Lilgun to back up 11. Oh, they're all walking into the spinners there. 3 heroes rooted. It's a bit of a yikes situation there. Varys on the other side. Say running in with the jetpack, and Crystal Maiden, you're gonna be going down. You are out of play. However, they did top up the toss, at least very low on HP. 11 fighting in the front line. Trill coming in with the Requiem. Got the Fear onto 2. Dawnbreaker hammering down Ace. Ace is down. Trill fighting against In Your Dream. And Trill into the air. They're going to take down the SF as well. No buyback. They're losing the fight. Lilgun can lose more than they bargained for. Army Geniuses take down 3, maybe even 4. DB blinks in, but the spear won't connect. The bear is down as well. Lone Druid, he's gone from the fight. But at the same time, Clockwork, he's trying to bully the creeps. He's trying to take them away, but it will be him losing his life. And Lilgun losing 4 heroes. 2 buybacks forced out, though.
They knew where their opponents are. Exactly. They got the first initiation, and they lost the fight. Goes to show just how strong Army Geniuses are currently there. And that's without the Axe on the Tiny.
Look at Dawn's damage.
Yeah, it's the Dawnbreaker level 25. That is what changed things. The double Starbreaker just did so much damage, and you know, multiple times in that fight. So the thing is, Lilgun now, they would love to revert back into that fight and wait for the creeps to get into the Army Geniuses base, so they start panicking and then you strike. But they thought if they just surround them, they're gonna be able to win that fight. But very, very nice plays from the Dawnbreaker. In Your Dream, first he does a lot of damage, and then he rallies his team around the Solar Guardian. No, just like in movies, rally around the king, and they all come towards the Solar Guardian, and then they're gonna be protected from everyone. So Army Genius is a very good approach to the fight there. Very nice spell usage, and in the end they get the victory, even though they were in such a bad position.
They soaked up the Requiem completely into the BKBs. At the same time, Tusk was down a half HP. 4-3 was kind of forced on the sidelines of the fight. And when the Shadow Fiend finally goes in to pop his Requiem to go in for the right clicks, he's got 6 seconds. He's only got 6 seconds. That's the amount of time you have to deal damage. As soon as that runs out, the Dawnbreaker just hammered her down, or hammered it down. Like, the Shadow Fiend just could not stand his ground against this Dawnbreaker.
But he is going for a refresher, and that changes things.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. That's what he was lining up a Linken's for a moment. So I was like, no, don't go that way. Go refresher, and he's going for refresher now.
Linken's would really be a bad item. Like, it does nothing in this
I was like,
game.
what does it do this game? Like, allows you to continue right-clicking because the Frostbite doesn't connect? Nah, like...
It would be better to get a Manta for that reason. Though Army Geniuses, they're in a smoke again, but you can see how hesitant they are to go anywhere. And now the CM goes into the spinner snare. You know that the webs are gonna be somewhere, and it's almost impossible for you to dodge them. So still, it is tough for Army Geniuses to find the right openings, but at least it feels like they can win the fight, even though it's not a good initiation for them. So if only you're not focusing down the Lone Druid, everything else is going to work out for them.
Lilgun pushing the bottom lane in. They only know 1 lane of racks and a rain tracks in the top lane. That's what basically keeps them away from Mega Creeps. Mega Creeps, though, at this stage of the game, not going to make a huge difference. There's the pings coming out from the spinners there. And now charging in is Army Geniuses. Say in the front, jetpack BKB popped as well. He gets the hook shot to block the Tiny. DB coming in from the side. 4-2-3 gets a good initiation. They've got Trill to come in as well. And Mars is down. Mars is down. No front line. Yowie, a lot of damage coming in from Trill. In Your Dream coming into the rescue. Tries to save him, but not going to happen. Army Genius is not looking very healthy in this fight. They've already lost DB with the dieback as he's gone for 110 seconds. And now with the Tiny, actually it does have buyback in 30 seconds, so the Mars will be able to return. But the Tiny, this might just be Lilgun taking in not just the lane of racks, but forcing out 2 big buybacks.
That's what you want. That's what you want. But the racks is falling is a big deal as
Nicely
well.
catching the Grimstroke. Kicked in Your Dream, though. Tries to turn the favor in. Hook shot from Say. Dawnbreaker needs to turn around. Fight against Trill. That's the BKB timer. You're running out of seconds. It's going to be wearing down, and it's already gone. On to 11. He's going to get stunned up by the Starbreaker, as they're going to be moving away from the high ground. They're like, all right, we've got the buybacks. We got DB. We got Yowie. We just need to get out now. DB missing the spear. Has Arena, but the Clockwork's going to be there, and he's just going to teleport away with the jetpack, and they're out of there. They're gone.
Huh? If you look at the range racks, you could say Army Geniuses have 1 range racks left. Obviously, 2 of them are going to be there, but looking at their HP, that's not going to be regenning. So you're playing against the Lone Druid. Mega Creeps are going to come out at some point if he finds an opening. There's not enough armor on the range racks, even with the backdoor protection to survive the bear. So that is one thing also that Army Geniuses have to deal with. And again, they just can't find the opening against the Spinner Snare. But this smoke from Lilgun could cost them the game if they're the ones running into Army Geniuses and they don't find the right initiation with the Clockwork. It could be their side that suffers.
8,000 damage dealt by the Dawnbreaker in that last fight.
Again, that's twice in a row that the Dawnbreaker is just crushing it.
Overwhelming Blink gonna come up next, and that scales with this strength core. More damage, more HP. Slows on the heroes. Link cancels. Say finds Yowie. The trees have been tossed and thrown into the pit. He's gonna get pushed into the shards as well. He needs to force his BKB out. DB being chased by the Clockwork. Aegis already taken for Trill. Army Genius is not feeling very comfortable with the current situation. Spear on the Clockwork. Varys is being targeted. CM the target of a lot of hate here. Nice blink from DB. Still has BKB. They just need to get back to the safety of their base. Crystal Maiden walks into the Spinner Stair. Gets rid up at the turnaround. They're going to take the fight here, right outside of their base. Broodmother, spear to the wall. Here comes the Dawnbreaker. BKB is running, needs to get the damage out. Hook shot to cancel the final Starbreaker charge. Trill going in for the Arcane Blink. Requiem doesn't get it off, gets cancelled twice. Snowball coming in onto In Your Dream, being chased all the way to the tier 4 towers. And he's gonna get the kick out, needs to survive. Dawnbreaker down, has to buy back. Lilgun already taken down 3. They might just clear it out in the end. Only 3 heroes, or sorry, only 2 heroes remaining. That is the range racks from the top lane, leaving this 58 HP range racks remaining from Mega Creeps. Lilgun, 5v3, they should do it now.
Yeah, Bear is coming. Bear is coming. He got the Axe Blessing on the Lone Druid. So yeah, look at it. The Bear actually casually takes those top range racks versus the backdoor protection.
Yeah, and there we go. That's going to be the end of the story. Lilgun finally able to close it out. Tier 4 towers to fall, and the game 1 secured.
Yep. I mean, Army Geniuses, the reason they lost this game is the very bad early game that they had. They actually played the early mid game and the mid game perfectly, getting the kills all around. But that 4K goal lead at the start of the game hindered their ability to overtake the map and be strong enough to win against Lilgun. Once the items came out for Lilgun and them having the better vision heroes, it was much easier for them to play than it was for Army Geniuses. Army Geniuses, despite all that, did a good job, but you just cannot allow the laning stage to go that badly.
Yeah, it felt like it was just an In Your Dream show. Once again, like the shiny player from Army Geniuses. And this was the first loss for Tiny for this entire team. Experimenting a bit with their drafts and costing them this game. But for Lilgun, a much-needed relief, because what they needed was a victory. They can't do anything less than a 2-0 here to keep their playoff hopes alive. And they're halfway to doing it now.
Yep, and they did it in style as well. You know, there were some times when they were giving away a little bit too many kills. Army Geniuses, even though they played well, they were uncontested in the mid game. Lilgun weren't making plays that are gonna be preventing Army Geniuses from getting multiple team fights going their way. But despite that, they did persist at taking the farm on their course, and that is what ultimately mattered. So yeah, still staying in. The hope is still alive for Lilgun. Let's go. Let's see if they can get another one.
You heard the man. Let's take a break and come back with game number 2.